The Grizzlies lost to the Warriors 123-109 yesterday. Golden State, though, no Steph Curry. This is just several days after Morant said there was no team, zero team in the West that Memphis fears. Shannon, how embarrassed should Ja be about those comments now?
They should be very embarrassed because they do all that talking and don't do a whole lot of winning. Like I said, if Steph Curry had said this, I ain't got no problem with it.
Yeah.
That man's a four-time champion, a league MVP, a finals MVP, and one of the greatest players I've ever played. If he wants to say, hey, bro, I'm good. We gravy. We peachy out here in the West. I'm good with that.
Yep.
What has the Grizzlies won? Don't give me this. What's he supposed to say? He's supposed to be respectful of everybody in the Western Conference, considering he hadn't won anything. They keep talking about a dynasty. A dynasty, and what banners have you hung? What have I seen up there? Well, I mean, I don't see the Warriors can say, we are a dynasty. Mm-hmm. We won 4 championships in 6 years. That's a dynasty.
Yeah.
Or if you want to say the Celtics or the Lakers and when they were Magic in the 80s, that was a dynasty. Yeah. You ain't no damn dynasty because you made the playoffs. Mm. And they keep talking about, oh, we this, we that, oh, we got... I'm like Draymond. Draymond says, I think the word rivalry is thrown around too loosely these days. A rivalry is the Lakers-Celtics. A rivalry is us Cavs, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We're competing. That's a rivalry. What's the rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Warriors? One team got 4 championships in 6 years. Yeah. The other team said, we did knock y'all out the playoff, the play-in tournament. What is that? Nothing. So all this, oh, we this, we that, until y'all advance, until y'all get some banners, ain't nobody taking y'all serious. They just like some young dudes just over there chirping.
That is true. They did give the Warriors all they wanted last year in that 6-game playoff round.
But you can't skip. You can't lose to them without Steph and without Wiggins last night by 14.
I agree. I'm not going to make too much of last night because the starters for the Memphis Grizzlies shot 4 of 25 from 3, while in total, Golden State made 18 of 44. They just got shot out of the gym from 3 without the greatest three-point shooter.
Exactly.
Okay? And I also want to make the point, this is almost inexplicable. It is inexplicable. You realize the Warriors have the best home record in the NBA and the worst road record.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard. Have you ever heard of that? Because I've never heard of that before.
Well, that's why they're 16 to 8.
Okay, there you go. I used to love Ja. He is losing me this year. I was bullish on the Grizz last year, if you recall. I was riding that band. I was driving the bandwagon. They are losing me because swagger, to your point, is one thing, but just empty boasting and chest beating is quite another. I like their swagger, but you got to tie it to some basketball character. You can't go over the delusional edge into thinking you're something that you haven't earned yet because you haven't earned a thing yet.
Nope.
And Ja doesn't seem to realize that because he seems to be a little bit of a victim of social media, and they launched a sneaker last night.
Yeah, nice looking sneaker.
Okay, fine. I give you all the above. You have earned nothing, and worse, Ja's not proven he can stay healthy because he's a high flyer who comes down hard on those knees, and doesn't it seem like every year he's gone for a while with a bum knee?
Well, how about clutch time, Skip, this season?
Yeah.
Last 5 minutes, game within 5 points. Ja is 0 of 5 from 3, 0%. That's worse than the league.
Right.
He's 11 of 29 from the floor, 38%. And he's 14 of 22 from the free throw line, 64%.
Right.
So while he's not worried about it, you need to be worried.
Okay. Do you remember game 1 at Memphis last year against Golden State?
Yeah.
Remember, he got the ball in his hand, drives down the lane, and Clay comes off his guy and contests the shot, and he missed it.
Yeah.
He shot it completely over the rim.
You better be worried about it because the Nuggets, I don't know if anybody watched that guy from the Nuggets last night, but he really good.
Hey, I watched the Clippers at Sixers on Friday night. The Clippers are really good. If their 2 guys are healthy, you got problems.
Yeah.
They're going to have problems with everybody.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know what you're talking about. And now he's drawn a bigger and bigger target on his back because he's going to hear about this the rest of the year.
Exactly.
Clay Thompson was out of his mind last night.
They got like 6 or 7 texts.
Yeah, I know.
Draymond looking at him like,
he was.
Are you not worried now? Don't worry about the Celtics. Celtics doing their thing over there, look good. Jason Tatum is right now. He and Nikola Jokic, Skip. They are for the MVP.
Do not rule out Embiid. Do not rule him out.
He coming. He coming. But JT's been off the charts.
Okay.
So the Lakers had a 10-point lead at halftime over the Mavericks. Then, though, they gave up 51 points in the third quarter. They ended up losing 124-115. LeBron scored 38 points, his 7th game in a row with at least 30. The Lakers have lost their last 4. They are now 13-20, sitting at 13th in the Western Conference. Shannon, there's quite a bit to unpack here, but if you had to pick one thing, what is the Lakers' biggest problem?
Man, ain't nothing to unpack. Man, I don't even travel with no suitcase to unpack this here because ain't nothing to unpack. They're not good. They don't have enough good players. It's really not that complicated, Skip. Even when AD was putting up the numbers that he was putting up, and even though LeBron is averaging 28, 8, and 6, they were struggling to win games. You take AD's 27 and 12 out of their mix. What do you expect them to do? The only difference between what happened in the first, you give up 43 points in the first half. You give up 51 in the third quarter.
Say that again. 51 in the third quarter?
Skip. The only difference was the shots that the Mavericks missed in the first half, they hit every shot that they missed, they made in the third quarter.
Yep.
And the Lakers, I mean, they were
You're up 11.
You're up 11, and within a blink of an eye, you're down 19. That's it. Skip, it's not that. Sometimes we like, well, this and this. When you give up 124 points in 4 consecutive games, you're probably going to lose. You're probably going to lose. And that's what happened. The third quarter has been the Lakers' bugaboo for the last 2 to 3 years.
Yep.
For whatever reason, they can't sustain the energy or the effort that they played the first half with. And so you give up a 51-point quarter. Give them credit. They tried to make a run. They made it respectable in the fourth quarter. But, Skip, I mean, look, LeBron is giving you 30 efficiently. Skip ain't like he's shooting 30 times and giving you 30.
No.
He's shooting efficiently.
Yep.
And it just has no impact. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, I think he's the only guy that had a plus. Everything else was negative.
Look,
yep.
Yeah, he had a plus
2.
2. Yep.
I mean,
Lonnie Walker had a 1.
Lonnie Walker was 1. Yeah. But Russ was minus 30. Austin Reeves was minus 15. Minus 10 by Gabriel. Minus 4 by Schroeder. Minus 1. Minus 6. I mean, it's 13 or 20. Skip.
But how about Russ having 17, 5, and 4, and he's a minus 30?
Minus 30.
God.
Skip. How about 12 and 12 from the free throw line? Can I interest you in that?
Yes.
Got to interest you in that?
How about that stat to the left?
We talk about this. See,
I'll talk about
what
it.
I do is that I'll find a positive in any bad.
That was very positive. That's about as positive as you can find.
We won't get to 80. I think he might hit like 30 in a row.
Yeah. 12 of 12. That's like Embiid-esque.
That ain't no Embiid. Whatever.
All right, my turn. I find this mind-boggling that LeBron's Los Angeles Lakers have plummeted to 13th in the West, considering the fact he has been on an all-time spectacular offensive roll. And I'm not exaggerating this a bit. I'm not being sarcastic 1 ounce. He has been spectacular on offense.
He has.
It's somewhat in spurts because there's some Brady operating here. What's your favorite saying about Brady? He can summons it up here and there, especially at the end of games. Well, LeBron can summons it up for stretches, and then he can't summons it up. And yet, I look at what happened yesterday. They're up 11, and then in the third quarter, I guess it's up to LeBron to match firepower with firepower. So he took only 3 shots in the quarter, and he did make a couple of them.
Made 2 of them.
Yeah, and he made his 2 free throws, so he scored 6 points. Meanwhile, back at the ranch in Dallas, on the other side, Hardaway is scoring 16, and Luke is scoring 13. And Christian Wood scoring 9, and Spencer Dinwiddie is matching LeBron's Laker high for the quarter with 6.
Yes.
And they gave up 51 points, which is the most points any team in the NBA has given up in any single quarter of the entire basketball season.
It'd probably be the most that any team will ever give up this year.
Okay, it well could be. And I was watching, and I tweeted very sarcastically, do the Lakers understand